All right, so there's a question on every Canadian's mind right now.
Do you smoke crack cocaine?
So other than that, everyone's wondering how people keep winning elections with way less than half the votes. I mean, we basically live in a country where math just packs up and leaves every 4 years. And depending on who you ask, this is the greatest system that has ever existed. You can literally have the most amount of people in the country vote for you, and then you lose the election. That's how it works. Okay, so Canada uses a system called first past the post, and here's a rough breakdown of how that system works. So basically the country's divided into a bunch of ridings, and each of these ridings get one seat in the House of Commons, and as you know, the most seats in the House of Commons is the one that forms government. The problem is that it doesn't matter if you win by 1 vote or 10,000. You still get that seat for that riding, which is fine if you're the winner, but it's complete shit for everyone else. Okay, so you might be asking yourself,
Do you smoke crack cocaine?
if the system is so trash, like if it's so shit, why don't we change it? And to that, I say, let's take a look at the political parties. Yippee! Okay, so let's start with the Liberal Party of Canada. They got elected in 2015 and they ran off legalizing weed and electoral reform.
While you were an MP, you had, smoked pot. And I'm just wondering, the question I wanted to ask you is, where around here can I find
You're kidding.
And then they kind of realized that first past the post helps them out quite a bit, and that's why they won 2 more elections without winning the popular vote. So they took electoral reform behind the barn and shot it.
And I'll be right back.
So the Liberals are really good at smooth talking.
We have recently switched to drinking water bottles out of when we have water bottles out of plastic. Away from plastic towards paper, like drink box water bottles sort of thing.
And they keep saying that they'll change it next time, but next time never shows up, and then eventually there's a new news headline, and we all forget about it. And then we have the Conservative Party, and they're really good at losing elections they actually won.
I'm sure a great many Canadians.
They love first past the post when the left-leaning vote gets split between the NDP and the Liberals. But they whine like a bunch of babies when it doesn't work out for them.
WTF.
A lot of the Conservative vote is concentrated in Alberta and Saskatchewan. So they end up wasting a bunch of that because they win by such huge margins over here. And then we have some of the smaller parties like the NDP, and they kind of get like 15 to 20% of the popular vote, but they still get a tiny amount of seats. First past the post really crushes them, especially since the last election when their party kind of just imploded and Jagmeet Singh was too busy boxing.
What's your name? Great!
This brings up another big issue with first past the post, and that is strategic voting. A huge amount of the NDP base voted Liberal in the last election, and that was strategically done to keep the Conservatives out of office. And the issue is, in a proportional representation system, a vote for the NDP would actually matter, and then things like strategic voting wouldn't exist. And then we have the Bloc, which kind of just shows up and yells at everybody that isn't French. And they really like first past the post because all their votes are super concentrated in Quebec. Wow! Okay, so basically the Liberals don't want to change it because it works out pretty well for them most of the time. The Conservatives don't want to change it because they're hoping one day first past the post will love them back.
Practice on me! Not bad, a little cold.
And they're still having wet dreams about 2011 and riding that wave.
We're just gonna have some fun. Girls love a guy with a sense of humor, and we could just have a little fun. We rated above rock hard abs. Stephen Harper, I love you.
So if you're a smaller party like the NDP, you basically get screwed over every single time. And I pretty much forgot about the Green Party and the PPC, but the same principle happens there as well.
SART.
Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that switching to a different system would fix all our issues. Every system has its downfall, and in regards to proportional representation, it often results in a coalition government, which leads to political instability. But in terms of Canada and first past the post, the issues that I highlighted are definitely the main ones.
Every single day, I'd be up that guy's yin-yang so far with a firecracker, he wouldn't know what hit him.
So yes, switching systems would fix a bunch of issues, but it would also introduce a bunch of new ones. So yeah, that's first past the post, the system where losers can win, and where some votes are worth more than others. I hope I didn't offend anybody too much with all the shit in this video.
Cold-hearted, what a dickhead, you know? Sorry, a dickhead.
And that's pretty much all I got to say.